Hello vinyl community, I'm back to do a recent vinyl finds video, and this is the third time I'm doing this because they are getting too long. But fuck it, I hope you had a great Christmas and a great New Year. This is the day after New Year's Eve, and I'm 35 years old, so I'm a grown up and I don't have too much of a hangover. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so I said that I didn't have any trips planned after my last video. Me and a friend went to Gothenburg the other day and the crate dug and drank some beer, and we had a marvelous time. So actually I have three pieces that would definitely go into that video, but I guess that they can be skipped onto next year's video. But I'll show two of them here today. And I'm gonna start with showing my finds, and then I have some stuff that I played from my collection to check out the new amp, yeah, if you want to stay for that, that's cool. Let's start off with this. This is a Grail. For me, it's a Grail. This is Dr. Strangely Strange with Heavy Petting from 1970 or 71. Let's say 70. It's the German first press with a die-cut cover. In kind of good condition. It's hard to get this in immaculate condition. I mean, it's been going into sleeves and stuff like that, and it's on the famous Vertigo Swirl label. I don't collect Swirl, but it's just like there's a bunch of Swirl records that is really good, and I try to snag those up when I find them for a good price. And this is one of them. Not all tracks is good. This is not the best record I've ever put out on Vertigo, but the tracks that is good is really good. And there's the track to listen to. I won't play it today, but the track to listen to is Sign of My Time, I think it's called. The last song on the side, and that's an 11. It's definitely up there with the best stuff that on the label. I'm super glad that I have this. It's not easy to find, and the vinyl is in fantastic condition, so good one. The next one is a Swedish prog Grail, also in the right sense. This is Shaggy Lessons for Beginners from 1975, and this is a sought after heavy rock prog record. I've never seen a copy of this in a store or on a fair or something like that. This was put out on Royal Records, and I don't know what they put out more than this. So I went into a store. I went to the back of the counter because they have the rare stuff there, and I saw this a copy of this for 220 euros, which is the price to go for with this one, in mint, like near mint condition. But it's not that good, so I would never pay that money for this, because it has maybe half of the record is good. The rest of it is just like rock and roll, in my ears at least. So it was cool just to see it. So I went to the new arrivals, flicked through, and the third record was this one. The same record. Only pressed once. The same record, but they graded it fair. So it was $9, €9. And I looked at it, and as you could see, the cover is in fantastic condition. Has some like shelf wear, but the spine is intact. No scuffs or anything like that. No writings, anything. So I looked at the record, and yeah, sure, it has two marks that I could feel with my finger, and other than that, it was some just scuffs from the sleeve. So I bought it. Obviously, I took it home. I cleaned it, and yeah, sure, it plays with some background noise all the way through, and some parts is worse than others, but some parts of the cleaning it definitely sounds like VG plus, and some parts are maybe down at VG minus. So $9, fantastic find of that day, definitely. So that was the grails for today. I also found a copy of Silverhead from 1972. They were fronted by this guy, Michael DeBar, which was an actor also, played in MacGyver. And I've had this on my want list, and I've followed some for sale on Swedish eBay. Went for 30-40 bucks. The first press, this is a second or third, maybe, or a second French press, something like that. So a little later, and I bought it for like $5 on Purple Records. So that was a pretty neat find. Music-wise, it's glam rock, but it's more interesting than most of the glam rock I've ever heard. At times, it reminds me of David Bowie, but at times it also reminds me of Big Star, which is weird. But if you like T-Rex, for example, this is more interesting, more fun to listen to. Okay, so 2 Can records that I bought. I had an original German press of this in very bad condition that I traded with a friend because I didn't enjoy playing it in that condition, and I got the reissue instead. So this is Soundtracks by Can, 1969-70, with the fantastic track Mother Sky, just insane. And I bought the Can autobiography book, thick ass book, so I think I've read like 50 pages out of 10,000. So I have some pages more to go, but it's really good up to now. And I got maybe 3 books more at Christmas from my wife and my kid and my mother, actually, and that made me think of doing a live stream by showing my music related books. So maybe I'll do that tonight, but we'll see. I also got Egg Bamyasi by Can, so this is also the Spoon reissue. They sound great, really good, well made reissues, 1972. Yeah, can't go wrong with that. And I don't listen to much new music. There's too much old music to catch up with. That's just me. I mean, the hours of the day just don't seem to be enough. But in my opinion, the best release last year was this one. Henry Derek Ellis, The Devil Is My Friend. So Henry's record, definitely a top hitter. Fantastic, not a bad song, and he has a very unique and own. He's doing his own thing. It seems like that anyway. To me, I got the bundle with a T-shirt, the EP on CD, some pins, some pics, postcards, and stuff like that. So it was cool to get that from there. It took a month to get here, and it's a little bit dent and stuff like that, but I don't mind. And he signed it too, so thank you for releasing this. Good old Americana. I don't know if that's the word. I don't want to just try to describe the music. Just get out there, listen to it. It's a shame that the EP is not on vinyl, because in my opinion the EP has as strong songs as the record, Devil Is My Friend. So it would be awesome for those two to accompany each other in the shelf. He released the EP before that album, so I've listened to the EP more than the album. I know that by heart. It feels like that, at least by now. Continuing on, I also found a copy of Son House, Father of the Blues, and I don't have much blues. I don't listen to it that much. But this is a classic on Columbia, so early, or CBS, but yeah, Columbia pressing. Early pressing of this, very cheap. Glad to find that. Also found mint copy of Pekka Pohjola's Visitation from 1979 on the Swedish Love Records label. But you can't go wrong with Love Records. They have, to my knowledge, not released one single bad record. It's a fantastic output. A little bit like Silence on here in Sweden. So in Finland they had Love Records. Great stuff. A blend between Bo Hansson's Lord of the Rings and Tubular Bells by Oldfield. If you want something to go for, if that's your bag, then check that out. It's, in my opinion, the best Pekka Pohjola record I've heard, but I still have two more to get and listen to. This was, I've read on some psychedelic lists, and this was on there, and I took a chance on it. I don't know what to say really. The Perfume Garden, Chitra Nyogi, spoken word record, talking about the importance of man treating woman. Very, very almost like a meditation record. Her voice is very, very nice and warm to listen to. Very soothing for the spirit. But in between that, there's some psychedelic India jams, which is pretty neat, and there's a sample on YouTube that you can check out called Laila the Flatterer, which is cool, but maybe 1/10 of the record is music, really. So, I mean, if you find it for $1 or $2 or $3, maybe you could take a chance on it, but don't pay more for it if you're not really wanting it. Finally scored a copy of Fish Rising by Steve Hillage from 1975. Great record, really. On this is the second UK pressing on Green Virgin. I've waited to listen to this before I got a vinyl copy, but it's a classic in the prog catalog, and I never listened to it before. Amazing stuff. This is fantastic. His guitar playing is just to die for, and most of the members of Gong is playing with him on this one. And I'm not a huge Gong fan with the stuff I heard, at least, but if there's a Gong record that sounds like that, hit it my way, let me know. Okay, so some jazz before I show the stuff I've played from my collection. Virgo, Four Seasons, 1976, German fusion group, on Bacillus Records, Bellafon. I love that label. I don't know, got it very cheap, and it's a great fusion record. Highly recommended. A little more on the mellow side, but the drummer is fantastic. All the musicians is really great. They put out 4 records. This is the second one, and I'm still searching for the first one released on Vertigo with the Spaceship label. 2 more to go. This is the best ECM record I've heard in a long time, and it's probably on my top 5 ECMs. I think this is Old and New Dreams by Don Cherry, Drew Redman, Charlie Hayden, and Ed Blackwell. So a lot of those guys play with, and all of those guys played with Ornette Coleman. And they do a cover of Lonely Woman and Open or Close by Ornette Coleman on this one. So the first track is Lonely Woman, 12 minutes long. Just amazing free jazz record. It doesn't remind me of anything else I've heard on ECM. Free, highly interesting, and their take on Lonely Woman is so amazing. The melody of Lonely Woman is played by Charlie Hayden on bass, which is just a fantastic take on what you can do with that song. And the production is so good. The bass is equally mastered, mixed, equally mixed like any other instrument. So it's just as in front in the speakers as the saxophone or the drums or whatever. And I think that with some jazz records I've heard and ECM records I've heard, when the bass player is playing, it's very light, and you have to crank up the volume to listen to the solo. But in this case, it's very up there in your face. Fantastic production, really good. Highly recommended, and it's cheap too. So if you're a jazz fan, free jazz fan, if you haven't heard that ECM record, check it out, really. And the last find I'm going to show you today before I file these mothers is 3 for Shep by Marion Brown. And I overpaid a little bit for this, but it's in fantastic condition. Look at that. I couldn't leave it in the store. And I don't know, I know some Impulse, but I don't know everything. And I knew this was a later like release on the Impulse label. So I asked the guy, is this a first press? And they said, yeah, it's a first press. And when I saw the label, I thought, yeah, maybe this Rainbow Impulse label was from the 70s, and maybe this early 70s release, and I didn't have the time to do the research really, and I went for it and bought it. And when I came home, it's a third press. They issued this on the regular like Impulse label, so that was a bummer. Not cool, Mr. Store guy, to fool a fellow crate digger like that. But yeah, and the interesting thing is, and I think a lot of people would feel that this is a downer for the record, but in my opinion it lifts the record even more, because it's, as you can see here on the cover, it's printed upside down. So it's a misprint of sorts, a very small misprint, but again a misprint. And in my opinion, that just lifts the record, because it's a human error, where you still, in a time where there still were people doing the records, if you know what I mean. I mean, they still do it today, but with records, but on CDs and MP3s and stuff like that. So very hands-on, like man-made kind of fault, which just, in my opinion, makes this even more interesting. But I think I overpaid for it. So yeah, that was the finds. If you want, here is some stuff that I played from my collection. First of all, Blind Faith. This is a reissue. I would like to have a first press of this. That would be awesome. There's not a bad song on here. It's a 10. I mean, yeah, just a 10, straightforward. Niagara, German Kraut, but with that sort of Afro percussion based. Not a sad moment on this. It's just like energy all the way through. You put it on, you play both sides. It's just high energy, and I cleaned my house to this on half the time it used to take. That's actually a trade with Christopher, because he didn't like it. So we traded with something that I think that I didn't dig that much. So thank you again, Christopher. The Beach Boys, Pet Sounds, played this also. This is mid 2000s maybe reissue. Sounds so bad. So if anyone knows which pressing sounds the best of Pet Sounds, and it can be a first US mono press, or it could be a Mo Fidelity 2003 issue, just let me know and I'll start to really hunt for that, because that deserves to be listened to at its absolute best. And with that pressing I had there, it's just like I could as easily listen to an MP3 version of it. Hunky Dory, David Bowie, my favorite David Bowie record. I think so, at least. I love Low also, but this is not a bad moment on that. And last but not least, Dave Lacey, Momentum from 1987. With, let's see here, Steve Potts, Bobby Few, Jean-Jacques Avignel, Oliver Johnson, and Irene B. Maybe. Not good. It's been a while since I played this. It didn't do anything for me, unfortunately. But I'll keep it, see if I can find something in it that is worth its place in the shelves. So that's it for me, 20 minutes. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.